Alright, we're getting ready to do an oil change on my daughter's 2016 Toyota Corolla. This will be our first oil change since we bought it. It's been 2,000 miles since we purchased it. And I'm going to go ahead and change the oil and also do a second change of the CVT fluid. And that is why the car is on all four jack stands and floor jacks. So if you were just doing an oil change, you could just jack up the front of the vehicle with the two jack stands and the one floor jack, and then use wheel chocks and an e-brake on your rear if you wanted to. But that's why you'll see mine up on all four. Alright, one thing of note on this. So the 2016 Toyota Corolla, Toyota switched the design of the oil filter mid-cycle year. Okay, so during the 2016 year, they started off with what's called a cartridge style oil filter with a reusable plastic outer shell that you remove, and then you change out the filter media inside and you change out the O-ring. I'll put links in the video description to all the cartridge style parts that you need, including an O-ring removal tool. We don't have that. Ours was manufactured in late 2016 model year production, so we have the typical canister style, just the regular like you're used to seeing. So that's what we have on ours, but the procedure, the oil change, how you get to everything is going to be the same. It's just going to be that, you know, if you have the cartridge style instead of the canister, then you would purchase the cartridge style filter. It should come with an O-ring, and then like I said, I'll put the O-ring removal tool in there. So this will be the first time doing it, so I'm going to learn a couple things that I'll be able to put in the video description and everything. Like, for example, I'm going to go under there with two oil filter wrenches. I don't know which style I'm going to prefer, the plier style or the strap style. I've got a Purolator Boss. I'll put links to oil filters in the description, and I like to give you options. I'll give you, this is what I consider the premium option, the most expensive probably, but I'm also going to put in the Toyota filter and Wix probably, some other brands I use. We're going to be using Valvoline Restore and Protect, sticking with the 0W20 that the car calls for. It says that it takes 4.4 quarts. And so this is a picture with marks on it that I like to use for all these jobs. So I've got exactly 4.4 quarts in it. So I'm going to take my oil filter, I'm going to prepare it, I'm going to turn it upside down, I'm going to dip my finger in the oil and put it on this black rubber seal right here. Just kind of lubricate that. That keeps it from sticking and helps it seal as well. So I put that on there, and then I pre-fill my filter. I'll get my light where I can see down in there. Whoa, not used to this picture being quite that full. Okay, so when you pour it in at first, it fills up quick, and then it kind of goes to the outside of the filter. Never really had a problem spilling. Usually I kind of keep it down a little bit. Alright, so we got enough in there. Alright, for our drain bolt, I believe it's a 14 millimeter. So I have a regular 14 millimeter socket with a extendable handle for some torque if I need it, and then I have my electric one. So once I get that bolt loosened, I like to use this one to get my hand out of the way so I don't get hit with the oil. So we're going to get under there and see what it looks like. Let's get started. Alright, so we're just trying to give you a orientation. So coming in under the front of the vehicle, this is kind of what we're looking at. So you have this nice opening where you can directly access the oil filter and the oil drain plug. So this being your oil filter right here, and then this being your oil drain plug right here. So you don't have to take off any covers. You don't have to access from the side from a wheel well. is just right here open for you. So I'm kind of check out this this drain bolt and make sure that it is indeed a 14 millimeter. And it is, so it is a 14 millimeter. So the first thing I'm going to do is just crack that open, and it was not tight. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know I always like to check the oil just to make sure it's not leaking or anything. So the oil is full, so it's been 2,000 miles and not used any oil, so it's a great sign when you buy a used car. You always want to keep a close eye on things. And the other thing I did up top was I loosened the oil fill cap just to help with airflow. And so now I'm switching to this electric socket to get my arm out of the way so that the oil doesn't get on me, hopefully. So I'm going to get it in position on that bolt and see how it goes. Went really well. Okay. So that's draining. I'm gonna clean off my bolt here and my wrench. Never seen that before. My crush washer appears to be dangling on the oil pan, like stuck there. So I'm gonna, but not stuck in place, like most of the way off. And it doesn't look good. It looks like something's wrong with it. Oh my land. Okay, so yeah, this is like a rubber, look at this. It's like a rubber gasket or something. Paper thin. I don't know if that's Toyota's design for this or not. So I'm gonna have to figure out what size that is. Alright, so we found that the 14 millimeter crush washer, or excuse me, the 14 millimeter drain bolt utilizes a 12 millimeter crush washer. So I've got that put on here. So that on the crush washer there's a flat machine side, and that goes on the bolt head, and then your rounded edge of your washer is what crushes. And so what we're gonna do is just, it's stopped dripping. It's down to extremely slow drip. So by hand I'm gonna install this drain bolt finger tight. That's gonna stop all dripping, and I'm gonna take a second to wipe up the drain pan. And then I'm gonna take my torque wrench that I have set to 27 pound-feet of torque. Try to position myself back where I can read it, because it's got a nice easy to read digital readout. It's kind of what sold me on this one compared to the other ones, was how easy the readout is. And there's 27. So we have our drain bolt back on. So now all we have to do is our filter. This is a tiny filter. Lucidity is going to be this way. So I'll put my wrench on and push it towards the back of the vehicle. Yep, it's already way loose. So that worked fine. I'll put links in the description to both of these, because both of these work, the pliers and the strap. But I want to get my pan underneath there. And then just kind of, this can be messy. You don't really know which way the oil is gonna go when you take a filter off. So, okay, but you know it's coming. Main thing is to do it slow and then just kind of let that oil drip slowly before you spin it out, start spinning it off, because what you're doing is you're basically emptying the small amount that's in there. And so once you let it drip out, then it's, you know, pretty clean, and then you can tell there it comes. So we just kind of let that sit in there. I'm just going to take my rag, sort of wipe all the faces, wipe the groove, wipe the threads, and then on our old filter, I just want to glance at it, make sure the black rubber seal came off with the oil filter, did not stick to our car. So now I get my other new filter. Remember, we got oil in this, and now, you know, hopefully now that I see that this is a side install, that might have been a mistake, because it might spill when I rotate it. So I'll learn. This is my first time doing it. This might spill out on me because I filled it with oil. So let's find out. Yep. So alright, I just positioned myself where I can see the threads, because I was having difficulty kind of lining it up. So now that I can see it, I know that I'm on the threads, and now it's working no problem. Okay, so now just gonna kind of hand tighten this. Okay, so that's hand tight. Alright, so we got the 4.4 quarts of 0W20. When you look down in this oil, there's like a metal plate, so that you can't just dump the oil too fast. There's a hole kind of on the left side, and so we're just going to kind of be careful how quick we add this. Just kind of keeping an eye down there on both the funnel, that my funnel doesn't overfill, and on the car. So right now my funnel's kind of, I have to kind of lift my funnel up a little to get it to empty better. But yeah, you kind of got to watch how fast you pour this. So I'm kind of lifting the funnel up out of the vehicle so it's not really resting in there. Okay, just going to take our cap, put that back on. Okay, so what we'll do is run the car for a few minutes and then let it set for about 10 minutes. And then check our oil level on the dipstick, and then you know, get it right up to the top of that full fill line if it needs a little more added or something. So we'll do that in just a minute. Alright, so we're going to try to reset the oil life. So I've written down some instructions. We got the key in the ignition, and we're gonna turn the key on without turning the engine on. So like until I get a readout here, and I'm gonna shut the air off so it's not running without the car on. So there's a display button on the lower right of the steering wheel right here. I'm gonna hit it until trip A appears up on that little screen. There it is. I'm gonna shut my light off in case that's making it worse. So trip A is up here. Now I'm gonna turn the key to the off position. Now I'm gonna hold the display button again right here. And while holding it, I'm gonna turn the key on again, also with the engine off, until the light flashes on the display and it is reset. Then I turn the key off. So basically you hold this button down now. Gonna rotate this again to there. Let's find out. Okay, so while we were going through that procedure to reset the oil life, I was thinking that there must be like a percent oil life like on most vehicles, but I couldn't find it. So through Google I found out that it does not have a percentage based oil life reminder, but what it does do is every 5,000 miles there's a maintenance required light that illuminates to remind you to change the oil. So what we were doing was resetting that, so it did work. So you follow that procedure, and that way you won't get an annoying light that comes on that says maintenance required. Okay, our car was ran for several minutes after our oil change, and now we've let it sit for a long time. So we're gonna take our dipstick out, gonna clean it off, put it back in. Try to get where we can get a good look here. Sometimes it's hard with clean oil. So yeah, I'm seeing clean oil all the way up. So basically you got the two marks and you're safe in between the two marks, but after an oil change, you know, this would be your full. This is kind of what you're aiming for without going over. You don't want to be above it, but ideally you're right at it, and that looks like where we're at. So that was using the 4.4 quarts, just like the owner's manual said. So we're going to leave it right there. We're not going to add any more. So that concludes our oil change.